tackle procrastination.
Right, let's get on with it. No point wasting time.
I need to know, and I know people out there struggle with this issue because I've heard it from my friends, family, and a lot of other people that have a hard time either getting started with something, or they make excuses for not doing whatever they really need to do, or they do a lot of other things instead of that one thing that they have to do. And you wrote a new book called Mind Gym. Yeah. So maybe you can help me, because I am totally guilty of the tax return, pushing off the doctor's visits, certain things like that. Maybe you can help me overcome this procrastination issue.
A technique I really like for complacency is called negative consequences. And this is about stuff that you don't necessarily massively care about, like you're a bit complacent about it, but it works. Now the issue is that the cost of not doing this is too low. So you skipping a doctor's appointment for another 6 months, I'm sure you're very healthy, I'm sure you commit to a good exercise regimen and everything else, it's kind of no biggie. And so how can you increase the cost of not doing something? So for example, you were going to write me a check for an amount of money that would be painful to lose. Okay, let's call it, I don't know, a couple of $100, okay? And you give me that check, and then I say to you, all right, who's an organization that you really, really don't like?
Florida Gators?
It could be the Florida Gators. Is that like that? If you celebrate the Florida Gators not necessarily making it through?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you give me a check for a couple
I'm
of
a Georgia
$100.
Bulldog.
Okay.
That's why. Okay.
So you give me a couple of $100. You give me a check for a couple $100 and I write it to the Florida Gators fan organization, and I say, okay, here's the deal. If you haven't made it to the doctor this month, I'm going to mail that check.
Oh, that's painful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely make me get off my butt and go to the doctor.
Okay. So what you've done there is you've shaken yourself out of complacency, because you've increased the cost of not actually doing something.
Another technique I love for procrastination is I'll give this 5 minutes, and at the end of that I can stop, but at least I'm determined to give it 5 minutes, and then I'll see what I want to give it another 5, and then another 5 after that. And what I find is once I start the process, it's not actually as bad and painful as I thought. Mm-hmm. And then I get into it and I start to build momentum, and then I get over the initial hump. And that's another way I hope to deal with my procrastination.
Mark Twain said, why put off till tomorrow that can be better done the day after that? Yeah? And I think it's a universal truth.
Mark
We
Twain,
all
he's a
suffer
genius.
from it. We all suffer from it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I feel inspired and ready to take charge of my life.